Sorry po sa late upload ng aking mga videos para sa ating modules. Susunod po natin na i-discuss is all about math. I just want you to share a simple quotation. Mathematics is not about computations or equations. It is more about understanding. So let us now proceed to our proper lesson for this week. Mathematics Module 3. We have a 2 lesson. Lesson 1 is multiplying numbers up to 3 digits by numbers up to 2 digits without or with regrouping. So on our first activity in the what's in, we're going to find the product of the given number by computing them using our mental accuracy. So, i-multiply natin sila gamit lang ang ating isip so that we can test our accuracy in solving a multiplication problem. So, if you were able to solve them mentally, that's great. It only proves your accuracy in solving multiplication problem. In this lesson, we will find out the 3 different ways on how to solve mathematical problems. So we will focus in solving and using these methods in multiplication problem. So this is the number 1 way on how to solve the problem. So using the short method. In this method, we will use the data 213 multiplied by 32. So 213 is the multiplicand, the operation sign, and 32 we call it as the multiplier. So how we will write them using the short method? We will rewrite 213 and write down the operation sign. After writing down the multiplicand and the operation sign, we will write down the number 32. So how we will write it down? We will leave the space of ones. So I will write down 32. I will align the number 2 to the place value of tens. So leave the space of ones and write down 32. Or the number 2 down the tens value. Okay. After writing it down, we can find the first partial product of the short method. So para hindi malito, pwede natin i-cover or i-erase muna yung number 32 since ang hinahanap natin is the first partial product. Let's now compute the first partial product. 213 times 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. And 2 times 2 is 4. So 426 is the first partial. The first partial product. And then the next step, we will find the second partial product of the given data. So what will we do now? So this is the second step that we will do using the short method. So I write down the 213 multiplied by 3. So since kanina yung 2 nasa tapat siya ng tens value, ang 3 dapat nasa tapat siya ng hundreds value. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. And 3 times 2 is 6. So 639 is the second partial product. So since we have the first partial product and second partial product, we will get now the final product of the given data. So what would be the final product of this given data? And for the step 3, add the partial products to get the final product. So we will add the first and second partial product. using the addition sign. So 2 plus 9 is 11. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. And write down 6. So 6,816 is the final product. So, tingnan na mabuti yung ating unang example. Madali lang siya, di ba? Using the short method. In short method, we have 3 steps that we should follow. And the number 2 way in solving a problem is the use of the lattice method. So, what is a lattice method now? Lattice method has also 3 steps to follow. The number 1 or the step 1, we will draw a lattice. So, what is a lattice? So, yung dinrawing ko na table, ito yung tinatawag natin na lattice. So, we will use also again the data 213 multiplied by 32. As you can see, the lattice table or that I draw, it has a 3 columns, 1, 2, 3 columns, and it has a 3 rows, 1 and 2. So, bakit tayo nagkaroon ng 3 columns? Because yung ating multiplicand is 3 sila, kaya ang bilang ng ating column is 3, and our multiplier is 2 sila, kaya meron tayong 2 row. So, I will write down 213 and 32. I already write down the multiplicand and the multiplier. So, yung 3, nasa taas sila because of these 3 columns represent the multiplicand and these 2 rows represent the multiplier. So the next step that we will follow is to multiply 3 and 3. Before we can find the first partial product and second partial product, as you can see, I divide each box into 2. So, if we already divide the box into 2, let us now proceed to the number 2 step. So, we will get the product of 3 times 3 is 9. I will write down 9 here. And 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. Afterwards, mapapansin ninyo na una tayo mag-solve sa tens value. After that, we will proceed in getting the sum of the ones value. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. And 2 times 4, 2 times 2 is 4. So this is the partial product, the 2 partial product of the given data. We already have the first and second partial product. All we have to do now is to find the final product of the given data. So, in getting or finding the final product of the given data, all we have to do is to add the 639 and 426. Now, begin adding the first and second partial product. We will begin to the ones value. So, in this diagonal, as you can see, walang kasama ang 6. So, since wala siyang kasama, I will write down 6. And then, I will proceed to the next diagonal. Ilang numbers ang meron tayo? We have 9 and 2. 9 plus 2 is 11. I will write down the ones value here and the tens value sa susunod na column kasi meron tayong carry. Oh, and then after that, I will proceed to the number 3 column or diagonal area. 3 plus 4 is 7 plus 1 is 8. Since in the next diagonal, walang kasama ang 6, that's why I will write down 6. So, the final product of this given data is 6,816. So, di ba kamukha din siya, yung final product natin, kamukha din siya noong nakuha nating answer doon sa short method. Magkaibang method, but in the end, meron silang parehong final product. And the number 3 way in solving a problem is the use of box method or expanded form of multiplication. Again, we will use the same data, 213 multiplied by 32. In the first step, we will create or draw a table. So the first thing that we will do is to write down the multiplicand on the top of the column. So we will write them into the expanded form. Paano ba sulat ng kanilang expanded form? Let us begin with the 3 or the 1's value. So since 1's value is 3, and then to the second value which is 1, so magiging 10 siya. And 2, dahil nasa 100,000 siya, is i-write natin siya sa expanded form na 200. So ganito magsulat ng expanded form according to their place value. Since we already write down the multiplicand, we will write down the multiplier which is 32. Write also them into the expanded form. Kung kanina nasa right side tayo naglagay ng mga multiplier, ngayon dito tayo sa left side. So the 1's value which is 2 and 10's value which is 3, paano siya isusulat into the expanded form? Magiging 30 siya. So ganito ang magiging itsura kung paano tayo magsosolve using the box method or expanded form of multiplication. So we will multiply 230. The answer is 6,000. And also 30 or 10 times 3 or 30 times 10 is equal to 300, and 30 times 3 is equal to 90. So this is the first partial product. Let us now get the second partial product. So 2 times 200 is equal to 400. 2 times 10 is equal to 20, and 3 times 2 is equal to 6. So this is the second partial product of the given data. So what will be the number 3 step now? As you can see, I already erased kung ano yung ginawa natin kanina to simplify our table. After that, we will get the first partial product by removing the expanded form. So we have 6,390. And we also have 4,426. So If you have noticed, yung ones value natin, hindi ko tinanggal yung kanyang expanded form so that we can come up into the final product. So all we have to do now is to add the first and second partial product. So we have 6, we have 11, and we have 8, and write down 6. So the final product is also the same as the into the method 1 and 2. We all have 6,816. And so those are the 3 different ways in solving a problem in multiplication. Can you name those 3 ways? So we have the short method, lattice method, box method, or expanded form of multiplication. So these are the other examples of the 3 ways: box method, lattice method, and the short method. You can use them as your reference. I think we are all ready to answer the activity 1 on the watch more of our module. So we have 342 multiplied by 32. So kung mapapansin po ninyo, parang meron tayong typographical error. So if we will follow the rules using the short method, dapat ang 32 hindi siya nakalagay diyan. So, I think it is a typographical error. So, dapat ang 32 naka-align siya dito since pinapasolve siya using the short method. So, ganito siya dapat. So, since sa paper naman tayo mag-a-answer, let us align the multiplier into the tens value. Just leave a space into the ones value. Kailangan ganito siya. If we are using the short method, it is according to the rules that we already discussed. So, let us solve the first problem on the activity 1. So, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 8, 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 3 is 6. So, we have a 684 on the first partial product. After that, let us find out the second partial product. So we will multiply 3 times 2 is equal to 6, and 3 times 4 is equal to 12. So we will have a carry over. So 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. After we have the first and second partial product, we will add these 2 numbers so that we can get the final product of the given data. So let us add these 2 numbers. So we have 4, 8 plus, so we have 14, carry 1, 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 2 is 9, bring down 0 and 1. So, the final product of 342 multiplied by 32 is 10,944. So, number 1 on the activity 1 is already done for you. I think you can now proceed in answering the 2, 3, 4, and 5. Always remember, i-align natin sila kasi ang pinapasab sa atin is using the short method. So, let us do all together the problem given on the activity 2 so that you can have a more example. So, all we have to do is to multiply 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 3 is 6. So afterwards, we already have the first partial product. Let us now get the second partial product. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. So, paano natin isusulat yung 12? So, ang 1's value dito sa ibabang diagonal and the other one is doon sa another diagonal box na meron tayo. So, we already have the first and partial product. All we have to do now is to add the first and second partial product so that we can come up into the final product of the given problem. So, mauna tayo dito. Tingnan natin diagonal. Wala siyang kasama. So, we will write down 4. The second diagonal. Dalawa sila. 8 plus 2 is 10. I will write down the 1's value, which is the 0. And then, I will carry the 10's into the next column. So, dito sa area na to, dalawa din sila. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And into this diagonal, we have two numbers, which is the 6 and 1. 6 plus 1 is 7. So, the answer is 7,704. This is the final product. I think we are all ready to answer the activity 2. So, number 1 is already done for you. Madali lang siya, di ba? If you listen to the instruction, to the discussions that we have. And for the last part of our activity in letter B, you will answer the following problem into the expanded form. And so, this is the last part of our activity in letter B. So, let us try to answer all together the number 6. So, as you can see, I already write down the multiplicand and the multiplier into the expanded form of value. So, we have 40 times 200 is equal to 8,000. 40 times 30 is equals to 1,200. And 40 times 7 is equal to 280. And that is the first partial product. And number 2, 2 times 200 is equal to 400. 2 times 30 is 60. And 2 times 7 is 14. So after we multiply them, all we have to do is to sum up all these three numbers. Sum up, i-add natin kung ano ang mga nakuha natin doon sa pag-multiply natin. So if we sum up all those number, we will get the total of 9,480. And lastly, sum up these three numbers, 400 plus 60 and 14 will came, the answer that we will get is 474. So, this is the first partial product and the second partial product. So, how can we get the final product? All we have to do is to get or to add these two numbers, the first partial and the second partial product. So, the final product is 9,954. That is the final product for 237 multiplied by 42. I think you can now proceed in answering those remaining problems. Number 6 is already done for you. You can now also proceed in answering the assessment. One, assessment and the additional activities. So all you have to do is to read the problem carefully so that it is very easy for you to answer those activities. So that is the end of our Module 3, Lesson 1 in Math. So yung mga kumopya lang ng sagot, kailangan pa rin ninyo maintindihan at maunawaan kung paano kayo nag-come up doon sa answer na nakalagay doon sa likod ng ating module. So, mahalaga pa rin na maintindihan natin kung ano ang lesson o anong topic na meron ang module na ito. Sa lahat po ng ating mga ka-parents, huwag po sana tayong magsawa na gabayan at tulungan ang ating mga anak habang sila ay nasa loob ng ating tahanan at nasa modular learning po sila. Happy learning po sa lahat ng ating mga anak at sa ating mga magulang. Good day po sa ating lahat.